Everything in it, all the books, all the vinyl, CDs, everything is donations. We don't pay for anything, but everything we do sell goes to Catalyst to help everybody with the mental health issues, drug, alcohol. Last week we had a big truckload come with 16 boxes of books. And that was fun sorting them out. I started off as a client, and then my social worker got me in contact with this place and said, why don't you start volunteering here a couple of days a week? Everyone here is a volunteer. No one gets paid to be here. Everybody is here because they want to be here. You know, this place really helped me. You know, I was a recluse for many, many years, and this place gave me a sense of somewhere I belong.
Catalyst Support is a charity that works with people to support their mental health and wellbeing, drug and alcohol, and multiple disadvantage through outreach.
Our values are kindness, integrity, and commitment.
Within Catalyst, they could go to any of our 26 services and get themselves supported in very different ways. Being able to offer a variety of different projects within one organisation gives people choice.
Working alongside somebody, understanding their trauma and why they are where they are, and then working with that individual and or group to be able to support them so they can experience joy in their life.
Seeing somebody as a person rather than as a label is at the heart of everything that we do.
And provide our sorts of services in a non-judgmental way.
I'm Mike Ward. I was the founder of what was then Surrey Alcohol and Drug Advisory Service, later became Catalyst after my time. It became obvious that there was a real gap for a service that was working directly with alcohol and drug users. What we were trying to achieve was to provide the opportunity for as many drug and alcohol users in the county to get that chance to change. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, you still had to persuade people that the drugs were an issue. There were still people who would say, we don't have a drug problem in Surrey. So a lot of our work was about education.
When I joined, we were less than 50 people. We were only working in the drug and alcohol field. We understood the interconnectivity between those two fields and also other issues, including mental health. Over time, we began to develop the approach that if we're going to tackle successfully the issues in people's lives, we need to be more holistic. And slowly and gradually and safely, we started to develop towards a mental health charity.
My journey at Catalyst started as a volunteer back in 1999. The role of volunteers has always been at the heart of everything that we do. Currently, we have 100 volunteers within the charity, and that could be through counselling placement, it could be supporting our bookshop in Godalming, it could be co-facilitating a group or volunteering at our wellbeing gardens.
Lived experience is somebody who has personal experience of mental health, of drug and alcohol, of using services. We employ people with lived experience as it's essential to be authentic in delivering the services that we do.
For our lived experience practitioners, they have been employed for their lived experience of how they have navigated through the different services, to talk to people about their own experiences and to be able to share how they were able to continue their journey. They're in paid roles. They are part of multidisciplinary teams across Surrey. Community Connections is low-level mental health support for people, again, who may feel lonely, isolated, who may need some social activities. It could be educational activities, they could be sporting. It's about bringing people together. It's about supporting people to develop their confidence. It could be to go back to work, so helping them to write their CV, prepare for interviews. It could be to learn new skills. We have a couple of wellbeing gardens within the charity. And again, that supports people back into their communities.
The group was recommended by my GP, and it was a referral that got me here. This group offers us the opportunity to make new friends. For those that are socially isolated, it gives us the opportunity to get out at least once a week. It's enabled us to form friendships outside of the group as well. It's the interaction that you don't normally get when you're at home. So it enables you to sort of share a common experience with each other, which is really helpful. And it's great for the mental health as well.
I was a bit nervous about coming because mental health can be quite an isolating experience. And I didn't know what people would be like. I was surprised about the level of acceptance. I think, as I said, it can be quite isolating. And then you get into a group with people who have a level of empathy and understanding, and that's a game changer. I've got my confidence back. I've made friends, which I didn't think I would do again. And I feel more part of society than perhaps I did a year ago.
Cuckooing is where a vulnerable person's home is taken over by exploiters, and they'll be using the premises to store weapons, to sell drugs and or other criminal activity. It very much links to a cuckoo's nest, the bird, where somebody flies in and takes over somebody's home. Often victims, we find, have vulnerabilities, and that may be they're experiencing poor mental health, social isolation. They may be using drugs or alcohol and or have a history. They may have a learning disability. They may be experiencing financial hardship. So these vulnerabilities often are something that the exploiters will look out for. The impact on victims that have experienced cuckooing can often be devastating and very traumatic. The cuckooing team has been able to support over 500 people so far, and there are many stories to share on how victims have turned into survivors. So our plan and aspiration for the cuckooing service is to ensure that we have mainstream funding, that cuckooing is recognised as a crime in law, which to date it currently isn't.
The counselling services offered by Catalyst Support are three options. We offer telephone counselling, online video counselling and face-to-face counselling where you're in a room with your counsellor. To come into Catalyst Counselling, you can self-refer through our website, or you can come in through a professional, for example, your GP. We offer counselling for adults who live in Surrey who are looking for support around drug, alcohol or mental health, or somebody affected by drug and alcohol in their life. Counselling is a time that you set aside for yourself each week. It's a commitment you're making to yourself to show up for yourself. Your counsellor will sit with you alongside you on your journey. They won't give you advice or tell you what to do, but they will explore what's going on for you, look at your options. And by the end of your counselling, you will hopefully feel empowered enough to make the changes you need to make in your life.
My role as a recovery worker is to work with women on a one-to-one basis.
I aim to empower women and help them make better choices in the future, no matter what led them to where they are now.
Women can come no matter what their issues might be. We offer smart recovery, which is self-management and recovery training for women with substance misuse issues. We also offer support for domestic abuse survivors, and we will work with women in that way. The trauma-informed response is one that acknowledges and looks at things that have happened to people, not necessarily in the recent past, but that could have happened a long time ago. It's recognizing that even moderate trauma will lead you to difficult places.
They will work with the client in whatever they bring. No problem is small or big.
They are loved, they are cared for, and our work is ongoing. We don't say you can only work with us for 8 sessions. We have women who've been coming here for years, and this really is a safe space for them.
I had no confidence. When I was in an abusive relationship for like 15 years, he completely ruined me as a person. Like, I had no confidence, I didn't believe in myself, didn't even like myself. But now I'm confident, I'm got goals, I'm still pushing myself. Women's Centre's just amazing. Honestly, they're all amazing. And, you know, if you want to pick the phone up, they're there. If I want to speak to them, they're there. You know, it's just amazing.
We're integrated service, so we work with Surrey borders. We work very closely with our GPs, so we are a primary care mental health service, working collaboratively with our partners.
Without these partnerships, we were working in silos, we would be working very independently. And what that does for our residents is not give them a very good service. They wouldn't know where to go, who to talk to. Effectively, they would be repeating their stories and would be bounced around Surrey.
About half of the people with severe mental health illness are mostly under the care of their GP, and they needed more support, both the patients and the GP as well. And it's not all about the clinical treatment. It was about housing advice, employment support, drug and alcohol support, and around debt management for the patient, and providing meaningful activities within structured days for our patients as well.
We've stabilised the charity and grown the charity. We're now nearly 150 people strong. The number of projects and things that we now undertake are more than 20, when they would have only been less than one handful when I first joined.
Catalyst is a £4.5 million charity, but when we go to seek grants and funding for some of our grassroots projects, we are seen as a large charity, and quite often we are turned down for some of this funding. So supporting the wider Surrey landscape has been beneficial for our residents, but for the charity, it's becoming a challenge to be able to bring in income to further support the needs of our residents.
The key now is to continue that success, not just to grow for the sake of growing, that would be wrong, but to actually grow in a safe and proper way where we need to, where we see there are gaps in services that need to be filled, and that we think that we have the skills and the abilities and the staff that can deliver upon that.
Actually, to be able to give people the bus fare to get to where they need to be able to buy them some food because they haven't got money to put food on the table, to do some of that, what we call that added value needs that people are starting to encounter, is really invaluable for us to really support people at the heart of the community when they need it.
I would emphasise that if you are feeling isolated or lonely, please seek a referral to this group and you won't be disappointed. We can't wait for Friday to come.
You're not alone. Catalyst support is available. Please phone, email, access your local service. We are here to support. We're non-judgmental. Picking up the phone is often the hardest thing, but please do it. We're here at the other end to support you.